Okay, today we are going to talk about the secret sauce in Medicaid crisis planning. Now, let me distinguish between crisis planning and pre-planning. Pre-planning is what you hear about where you say, oh, you have to give the assets away at least 5 years before you apply for Medicaid. That's pre-planning. And that works great if somebody has the foresight and the willingness to give away their assets 5 years ahead of time. However, most people don't, and they end up in what's called crisis planning, which means I need home health care, assisted living care, or nursing home care, and I need it now, and I have too much in countable assets to qualify, right? I can't get Medicaid the way it currently sits. Is there anything I can do to rearrange those assets in such a way as I can go ahead and qualify for Medicaid even at the last minute? That's crisis planning, and the answer is yes, absolutely, it can be done. So, the secret sauce to Medicaid crisis planning is how they count the assets. Now, they look at the assets in three categories: countable assets, non-countable assets, and exempt assets. From a practical standpoint, for qualifying, non-countable assets and exempt assets are just the same. They don't count them when determining whether you're eligible for benefits or not. However, non-countable assets can be collected back from if the person dies and those assets go through the probate process down at the court. Think of it as they don't pass by a beneficiary designation or a joint tenancy, some kind of efficient manner of passing them at the person's death, and it either goes through the person's will or the person didn't have a will and it's got to go through what's called intestate succession, which is essentially the state's will for you or for them. Okay, if it goes through the probate process and it's non-countable, right, it's not an exempt asset, then they can collect back from it. Exempt assets they can't collect back from even if it goes through probate. Now listen, if this is done correctly, nothing should go through probate. Nothing should go through probate. There's no reason for it to. But that said, now you know non-countable and exempt don't count for calculation purposes. Non-countable can be collected from in probate. Exempt can't be collected from, period. Okay, now let's get back to countable assets. Countable assets are things that you would think of as counting, like stocks, bonds, mutual funds, savings, checking, cash in the mattress, cash values of life insurance policies, classic cars, all kinds of other stuff. Okay, but basically anything of value could be countable unless you prove to them it's not countable or it's exempt. So, here's the limits in Florida. If you are a single person applying for Medicaid in the nursing home, right, you can have countable assets of $2,000. Now you can have all the non-countable and exempt assets you want, but you're limited to $2,000 of countable. If you are married, the spouse who is not in the nursing home, if they're living in the community, they can have $128,640 of countable assets in the state of Florida. Now, all this is Florida specific, okay? So if they can have $128,640, the person in the nursing home can have $2,000. Total, they'll be able to have $130,640, right? If they're over that, either over the two as a single person or over the $130,640 as a couple, then the secret sauce to Medicaid planning, now this is a secret, right, is to take what's countable and exchange it or convert it into something that is non-countable or exempt. So what's non-countable? Real estate that's up for sale at fair market value, real estate that's rented at fair market value, real estate that's up for rent at fair market value, automobiles over 7 years old, unavailable assets, assets that can't be sold because they're legally unavailable, assets, you know, the real estate that's up for sale. Now you say, wait a minute, well, what if I don't want to sell the real estate? Well, there's ways to accomplish that. And listen, the secret here to keeping everybody happy and making it make sense is to keep the cash and investments in the family and simply exchange it for something non-countable or exempt that the kids own if you have kids to do that with. Listen, obviously there's a lot more to it, but hey, if I can help you, if I can help clarify any of this for you, give me a ring. I'm happy to help. Again, my name's Tony. Pleasure to talk to you. Look forward to hearing from you.